And I believe that Honorable Duale has got what it takes to bring these people to recommit. Things cannot continue as they have been for the last 40, 50 years. No, no, we shouldn't. The issue of grabbing land in forests has been, you haven't had a thing. You haven't had anything about what happens in the forest. Big names that you will be ashamed to know that they did this. And it's not now. It's been happening over the years. There are people, there are constituencies that are inside the forests. But do two wrongs make a right? They don't. The trees that are cut in our forests, the timber that is produced to do the biggest construction, just because someone is in authority as a chair of Kenya Forest Service, conservator being misused. In fact, I should be calling for those people, sincerely speaking, to resign if we have to change the culture of our country. The Honorable Duale has taken action that has never been taken by any minister before in the environment. That is the man to support. He is the one to revoke licenses. I'm calling upon him to revoke the licenses. I'm calling upon him to ensure that there is a responsibility at every level. When you're talking about forests, you're talking about Kenya Forest Service. Where is the tree that is called sandalwood gone to in this country? It is exported. The wrong HS code is branded on the same item so that when it is going out, it is not the sandalwood. Trucks are going on our roads on a daily basis. They no longer carry charcoal in the open trucks. They carry them in the boxed stuff. Factories are using wood so that is the cheaper process that you can use so that you can make profits. Companies are declaring profits when they are supposed to be declaring losses because you haven't factored what is supposed to go to the community. I call upon KFS to take responsibility because the culture that is in there, I respect. And KFS has got very good people, highly respectable. Just like KWS, why wouldn't we have rangers that are honorary wardens that can be able to do that? Any attempt to get that going so that the public can get interest in this place is never and never goes anywhere else. They must take responsibility because they are the ones who are out there. Root out the wrong people because they are there that can fit to sit on a table with what I cannot say. Because all that these people have been doing is known. It is bare. Charcoal is moving from different places every single day. teak wood and trees that are so precious for this country, of medicinal value, are being exported out of this country. Just because it is your time, inakuwa ni wakati wako wa kukula. I think this has come to an end. I started this war when I was a young man, and I think time has come. At my old age, where I am, I determined it as old. I think we must just do what is right for God's glory. Today we are talking of very serious issues. You can imagine, even an organization that I am part of. A very good intended proposal to set up nurseries and sample Green Africa village on Ngong Forest. And we did an application because it was there in the law that we could do that. And before we did that, we asked due diligence and asked, hey, is this place available? Yes, we were told, oh, that is WWF that is supposed to do their headquarters in that space, and that is an international organization. They are being paying the licenses, and other institutions are here, but you can also do the same. So we want to do nurseries. By the time the allocation was done, even before we went physically on the ground, trees that were there, and these were eucalyptus trees, were all cut, including any other indigenous tree that was there. We went to the land, we looked at this, and there was clear conflict of interest with what the individual in me stands for, with what the management and the board of directors of the institution stands for. And even though we paid the license, we chose not to continue with the project. We have never done anything but protected the place. We are glad, and I thank God. If the license was for ensuring that the trees that are there grow, today they are growing. How many people have been given those licenses? By the time they get the license, trees have been cut. These are the wrong things, the culture that we are talking about. At least Green Africa Foundation would not occupy, has never occupied, will not deal with that kind of a situation that breeds a conflict of interest that's so clear. But how many people elsewhere would think about it that way? I called for it long time ago. I have called for it 1,000 times. What value is it to me? I am only happy that I have been seeing that the trees grow in that place. I visit to just see that the trees are growing. Did nothing, moved no soil at all. And I've been calling for the revocation of the same. Unfortunately, what they push for is money. Please pay money, please pay money. And there is no even follow-up on all this. And I must call with all humility and God's fear. Those in power at any given time, and I'm not talking just about the president, I'm talking about anyone in leadership. Please, do not use your office to do what is not right. Trees speak. They will visit you one day. We must be able to control our family members. We must be able to control people that we are working with. There is life after politics. There is life after the positions that we have in power today. There is life. And we must be able to do what is right. Money is not everything. If we mess the environment today, we are messing about our future. The biggest sufferer in any cycle of election in our nation is the forests. That is where money is found for politicking. That is where money is found for different things. We haven't talked the real issues about Mau Forest. We haven't talked the real issues about Arabuko Sokoke. We haven't talked about the real issues of, about Ololua and Embobut forests. And I am happy that the Honorable Eden Duale is revoking licenses and making sure that things happen in the best way possible, because it has nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with the president. It is a culture that we must deal with, and deal with it with finality. I know something about forests in this country, and I thank God, is to declare an immediate moratorium on the and revocation of the licenses that have been issued to different institutions. First, stop. Everything must stop. If we have to cut the culture, we must stop everything to make sure that, and we do a clear survey, who is doing what for what purposes. Because clearly, there are some activities that could be okay to deal with that. Nurseries that we were supposed to produce, there is a dam, there is everything else. In the same place, there is production of nurseries. There wouldn't be anything wrong until when you realize there is a conflict of interest. Today, we are discussing about the issues of Karura forests. We are discussing issues about Ngong forests. We haven't touched or even scratched the surface of the issues that need to be discussed. If some of the things that I know in this country are known to Kenyans, and that is why I am ready to discuss them, you will be surprised. It is not something to do with the current people. It's a culture that we are dealing with for many years.